Hello. With this lesson, we are starting a new chapter for you. In this section, our main topic is controller and the action in the controller. I will try to give you detailed information about them. I will try to give you full information. Now, first of all, let's look at the structure of our project again by summing it up as a flows. In our previous section, we gave some information about the section here. But I mean this. What the structure of ORs and its basic components in this structure mean, and what this statement mean. Full information related to concepts. First of all, you already have a little knowledge. We say that our projects are suitable for MVC structure. So what is the MVC structure? The letter M in the MVC expression represents the model. V stands for views. The letters C represent controller. So let's start with controller. Controller ASP.NET MVC or ASP.NET MVC Core is now also merged all .NET 5, .NET 6. We can define it as the layer that receives, processes and transmits back the request received by the users. Because in our project we have set an example in our previous lesson. When a request is made via URL, a matching process is performed towards this party as the controller. In the meantime, I would like to give you an example of this. Let's run our project. In other words, a separate request is made for each controller in parts to the internet browser. The name of the controller is in the address bar. If we are going to talk about this controller, it will be an employee. And we can say that this employee control comes from inside the class located in the subdirectory of the slash folder. So friends, to sum up briefly, the project was the control part where all transactions such as database operation, calculations, data transfer were performed. Of course, we do not always do our transaction here. For this, we have different business layers such as a separate process layer, a business layer, a common layer. But the information here has been collected and sent to the website. We can say that last work are done for the controls. Actually, in the view section of the controls, our root mechanism also has one-to-one relationship. Because we guys the hierarchy here. Program says or before that, we match your project based on the expressions in the follow map controller root in startup. See, here we have a map controller root statements. I want to talk about that. Briefly, in our next section, I will talk about the concept of the actual root. If we ask why we didn't mention it now, let's first know what the model view controller are as concepts. Let's build a root mechanism on top of that. So in this section, I am going to talk about that concept of control and action. Afterwards, we will combine this with the root and establish main transaction logic in our project with the group mechanism. It continues where we left off. Here is my web control statement. In his friends have two values. One is the name statement of this value, default, or expression. This may vary according to our wishes, but one has to be by default. Because when our project is first standing up, it needs to be know which page it should start from the run project system. Secondly, we need to give a pattern. This is hierarchy of the path value. Let's open it right away. See home controller, and we match it as an index. Because after the match, he has an idea of what he will show off the second. Even I did go to view right click. No, excuse me. From here we would redirect to about action and come up inside the about page. We had this demonstration together. And more. Again, I am sorry. In the sequel, friends, after this pairing, if there is an ID, if there is a question mark, so if there is no problem means do not make this problem. But if we remove it, it will surely expect ID value from us. In order to touch on this briefly, I would like to show you again by running our project. We will expect ID from value as because right now, look, it hasn't been opened to your page right now. The reason is that, as you said, he wants us to give us that ID value. It makes it mandatory. I am reverting what you write now. Now, in this lesson, I'll talk about the concept of control. What is the controller returns a value from the operation you have already done here and back. I mentioned that we have give it to view. So good. In our next lesson, I'm going to talk about the action friends. We have the check process here as a general structure because we have within this control, we have certain actions. What exactly it serves, I will talk about it. Goodbye to talk about action in the next lesson.